Hello, you guys, and welcome to What is Health and Fitness Coaching. So I'm going to start off this video by just really telling you about myself and my story and how I got started and how I got to this point where I'm at right now. So my story, my journey really begins truly in May of 2015, and that was the time I was 5 months postpartum, and I was invited to join my first ever accountability group with from my coach. And so, like I said, I was 5 months postpartum. I was into health and fitness before that. I was actually teaching group fitness classes. But before I had my daughter, I was at the gym every single day, like 6, 7 days a week, teaching 5 to 6 classes a week. And so I was very active. I was very in the gym every morning. And then I had a baby and things changed, and it was almost impossible to get to the gym on time ever, like to make a class. And if I did, I was teaching at night. My husband works early hours in the morning, so the only way that I could get to the gym was honestly to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock and go. And when you have a newborn, that's nearly impossible, right? So it became really hard to go to the gym, and I was stuck between this feeling guilty about wanting to go to the gym and then feeling guilty when I was there that I wasn't home with my child and my family. So I was in this limbo of I wanted to lose baby weight, but I didn't know how and I didn't have a strategy. And so it's really crazy that my coach messaged me about joining her challenge group when she did, because it was a Friday in May, Jeans Friday, and I was in my go-to jeans and the ones that were always fit, always made you feel good. And so I slipped those jeans on, and I just remember that feeling of my stomach and everything just bulging over my pants, right? And that is the worst feeling. So I remember grabbing a tank top and grabbing a t-shirt and then grabbing like a little sweatshirt to put over top of it to make me feel more comfortable. And so putting more clothes on made me feel more comfortable in what I was wearing and how I looked. And so that was the day she sent me a message and she said, "Hey, we're starting a group after Memorial Day. I really want to focus on moms. Would you be interested?" We went back and forth. I asked her a ton of questions about what the group was, what the program was, and I was honestly really excited about the home workout portion of it because summer was coming. I knew I was going to be home more. Going to the gym was going to be so much more impossible. And I was also coaching softball at the time too. And so the thought of being able to just get up, push play on a 30-minute workout in my house, I was sold, like perfect. Then throw in the nutrition piece because I knew that's where I was struggling a lot as well. So throw that in there and I was like, yes, sign me up. Joined my first challenge group. I stuck to it completely without cheating at all. For the first 3 weeks of the program, the 21 days, I lost 10 pounds and 10 inches, and I was just hooked. Like I loved working out at home. I loved being able to work out when my daughter was sleeping. I loved putting some emphasis and some focus on nutrition and trying to really improve my health and my family's health and eating and just how it made me feel. And I really started to find myself again. If you yourself are a mom, you know that once you have kids, life just changes for a little bit. Like it's just different. Your priorities shift and they shuffle, and that's fine. They should. But I lost a part of myself, and I lost that part of myself that made me happy with myself. And so I was starting to find that again. I was starting to feel more confident. I was starting to feel that I looked better, and just all of those feelings from before getting pregnant, before having kids started to come back. And right in that moment, my coach asked me or told me basically, "You would be an amazing coach. You should check this out." And I turned her down, I want to say 2 or 3 times. And she invited me to join a sneak peek. And I said, "Yeah, you can throw me in there." But I didn't really do much in there. I didn't pay much attention. It wasn't until about 2 months later and towards the end of July when I saw her at Beachbody's big yearly celebration in Nashville. And I saw everything she was doing. She was with her husband, downtown Nashville, like just having so much fun, going to all these different parties and dressing up and getting pictures with celebrity trainers and people that I started to follow in Beachbody. And I remember laying in my bed that night thinking, why am I not doing this? Like, I love the programs. I love the nutrition plans. I love Shakeology. I love how I feel. Why am I not doing this? So the next morning I woke up, I went back to that sneak peek. I watched all of the videos that she had posted in there. I watched them all and I started to get to work. I started to make a list of people that I knew would want to join me. I started to craft out my first post ever as a coach, talking about my journey, talking about my transformation. And the second I saw that she got home, I waited so she could snuggle her babies for a little bit. And then I messaged her and I said, hey, I am so ready to be a coach. Like, sign me up. Let's do this. And she's like, hey, okay, awesome. Do this, 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 and this. I'm like, I actually already did that. And so I remember it was July 27th. I don't know why those dates just always stick out, but it was July 27th. And so there was 4 days left in the month, right? So I posted my transformation picture. I was super nervous to post it. I remember posting it, sharing my story, putting my phone down, and just walking away because I was so scared. And within that 4 days in July, I helped 6 people get started on their journey. And I will never forget those first 6 people because that was really what made me think, like, I can do this. Like, that was just from sharing my story, just from sharing my little 2-month portion of my life. I was already able to start and help 6 people. And so from there, it just snowballed and it just kept going. And so here I am 2.5 years later. I've left my full-time job of teaching and coaching. I've left the gym setting completely. We are expecting our 3rd child, and I have bigger dreams, bigger goals for our family and our financial situation that expand further than just me leaving and being a full-time coach and stay-at-home mom. So I'm excited to share that part of this with you, to know that no matter where you're coming in my story, like, I didn't start this way. And I started from the bottom, and I started as a full-time teacher and mom, and was literally building my business in the cracks of my day. Like, when I had time, I was getting up early. I was staying up late. Every spare second of my day was spent towards growing my business and what were the things that I needed to do. And so it hasn't always been like, I'm just home all the time, like, I have time to do this. No, I was totally like in the cracks and in the trenches, and started as that part-time job. And that's honestly why I started, because I needed a second source of income to help just pay off some debt and just really kind of keep us above the line, so to say. But I didn't want to leave the house. I did not want to work 8 to 4 and then work 4 to 10, 2 nights a week or whatever. I didn't want that. And this was the perfect solution, because I could work when my babe was sleeping. I could work when my husband and I were just watching TV aimlessly. I could do this literally as long as I had my phone, from wherever. I could do it from anywhere. So all I did was I just started sharing my story publicly. I started sharing on social media. I started inviting other people to join me and just asking them if they wanted to be a part of this with me. And they did, and they joined me. And I continued to encourage them. I continued to show up and try to inspire people, and kept inspiring them. And that's what coaching is having your own journey, focusing on you first and foremost, sharing that with other people, and inviting them to join you. Like, that's, in a nutshell, boom, stop the video. That's what coaching is just having your own journey, sharing it, and inviting other people. So, but to break that down a little bit more, there are really 4 main things that we focus on and we do every single day that move us forward. And the first one is, obviously, for me, it's the best one. It's the easiest one that comes naturally for me, and that's the fitness side of it. So when you decide to start coaching, when you jump in, one of the things that we strongly encourage is that you pick a fitness program. And a lot of times you start off in a challenge group and everybody's doing the same program, so that's kind of an easy part. But you pick a program and you go start to finish. You completely commit. You go all in, and you get that transformation. You show up and show that you are product of the product. Meaning, if you had gone to my social media and I'd been talking to you about Shift Shop, the program Shift Shop, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing program. Like, the results have been insane. It's nuts. but you go to my page and there's nothing about my physical transformation, there's nothing about the products or the programs, you're going to be like, I don't trust you because you're not doing it yourself, right? So you do a fitness program, you go on your own journey, and you're just proof that these programs work. You're proof that Shakeology impacts your nutrition. You're proof that following the system and working on nutrition works. So you're proof that it works, and it's proof that the programs bring results, and it's not a quick fix. It's not an easy way, but this is just you. Like, don't overthink that part. It's just you doing your fitness. It's just you doing what you initially were drawn to. At least that's how it was for me. Like, I didn't think, oh my gosh, now I'm a coach, like I have to go all insane and do a program and get insane results. I still showed up every day, push play on my workout, drank my shake, followed my nutrition plan, had a few cheats here and there, became still a human being, and just shared that part of it. I just publicly shared the journey, the days where I didn't want to work out, the struggles I had. We've been through a lot in the last 2.5 years, but my fitness has never wavered. Like, I've never given up in that aspect, because that's important, and showing people that you can do it and just being that inspiration to other people and showing that it's possible. So that's a huge, huge piece of it. And to me, that's the one that comes naturally, because naturally you're drawn to coaching, either because you're already in a challenge group or because you want a transformation yourself. So you're already interested in that part of it. And then the second part is, I like to call it like your mental fitness. And this is your personal growth, your personal development. And this is one that I didn't really think was super important for a long time, because my first book ever, it took me from August to December to read it. So that shows you that I was not doing personal development every single day like I should have been. So really, it's just 10 minutes. 10 minutes of diving into a book, a personal growth book. It could be a business book. It could be a self-help book, like whatever, something that makes you grow up here. And even though, like, to me, the fitness part is the easiest part, the personal growth and personal development has been the most beneficial for me, because I think I've learned so much about myself in the last 2.5 years, because I alternate between, here's a business book, because I'm not from a business background, so I want to learn a little bit about a business. So I take the business side of it, but then I also focus on my faith and some nutrition focus as to emotional eating and why maybe you eat this way. And then I focus on like personal habits, like what are habits that we have of not reaching our goals. So I kind of fluctuate between the three. And I learned so much about myself. I have to show you this book because I just finished it, and so it's sitting right here. If there's anything that you ever read, like, this book was so good, you guys. It was so good. Every chapter, like, I don't know if you can see all the little tabs in there, but it was such a good book, and it was so true. And this is so me to a T, like a chronic starter and never finishing, and why. And everything he talked about, I'm like, yep, I do that. I do that. I do that. So those are those things. Like, I never would have figured out why I started a million things and never finished them. I have a whole tote upstairs in my closet of started scrapbooks that are never finished, and they're never going to be finished because I moved on to something else, right? This book explained why. But because I read 10 minutes a day, I learned that about myself, and I've grown, and I understand those things and why I do those things that I do. And then how to overcome that as well too. So that's the second part, is just we're working on your physical fitness, but you're also focusing on mental fitness. And if you're like, oh, I don't have time to read, audio is huge now, and there's so many podcasts and audio books, and there's so many other options out there, especially if you commute. That is a great time to get in that personal development. I commuted for 4 years. A year and a half of it was when I was coaching, and I did audio like the whole time, driving back and forth, and it was amazing. It was perfect. Plus, it was like that was downtime anyway, so I just got it done. The third thing has to deal with social media, okay? And so social media is that's where your business takes place. And so if you think about like an actual business, like a physical store, a physical shop, they have their stuff. A clothing boutique has their clothing out for sale. They have signs. They have stuff in the paper. Like, That's what social media is for your health and fitness business, and your online business is your social media. So when people tell me they're hesitant to post on social media, I totally get that, because that was me. I just posted pictures of my kids, but it becomes just second nature, and you have to think of it as I am sharing my story. We all go through that new coach thing of posting a bag of Shakeology and being like, here's our product. But that's not what we do. We share our story. So yes, you may take a picture of you and your shake, but you're talking about what it's done for you. You're talking about some benefits of it, or it could just be a little prop in the background, right? But you are documenting your journey, like your start and your finish and your struggles and what you're eating, and you're providing value. You cannot produce any sort of income or money or anything if you're not providing value. And when I see stock images of other products on social media, that's not providing me value. But if you're showing me pictures of you yourself, and how you've improved or how it's benefited you, that adds value to me, because I might relate to like dark circles from less sleep or whatever. But if you are sharing your story, you're documenting your journey, you're providing value. So I don't like veggies. So what's a way that I hack and get my veggies in? That's providing value. That draws people in, that builds trust, and they're more likely to want to join your group and be interested in working with you if they have that value and that trust. So it's also a sense of accountability for me as well too. It's a way of knowing like I have to work out today, even though I don't want to, but I know that people are relying on me. So social media is kind of like your storefront. And it's not an icky thing if you do it the right way. And we talk about that in training. We go over all of that. You guys, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I am still continuously learning. I am by no means an expert, but I kind of know like what's really good and what's not so great, right? So that's important, is being a presence on social media, a positive influence on social media, and providing that value. And then the last thing is interacting with our challengers, interacting with other coaches. So when you are sharing your story, people are joining you. That's not it. You don't just sell them the challenge pack and then walk away and say, I'll see you in a month. Let me know how it goes. No, we're working with them on a daily basis. I'm in a challenge group. I'm checking in with them. I'm posting questions. I'm trying to keep them engaged and trying to help them get results and love the products and the programs like I did and I do, right? So it doesn't just stop with the sale. Honestly, once you make the sale, that's when your work starts. But it's fun because these people want your help. They want to get better. They want to feel better, whatever their reason is. So it gets to be fun to work with those people. And so you're checking in with your challengers, you're running these accountability groups. We do your first couple ones together, so don't freak out about having to do it by yourself. We run your first couple ones together. And then eventually down the road, you're going to have your own team and you're going to have your own coaches. And so checking in with them, providing value with them, running calls or posting in a team page, whatever it might be. So it's just a matter of helping your challengers get results and fall in love with the process and their own health and fitness journey. And then in turn, like your team and your coaches and all of that. So again, that was a lot of information. But it basically comes down to doing your own fitness journey, your own mental journey, sharing that for others, providing value, inviting them to join you, and then helping them along the process, helping them through and getting results. That's the gist, right? So that's where it comes down to, and that is in a nutshell, you guys, what coaching is. And so in terms of how you help them, so you get them in this accountability group. It's a private group. If you haven't been in one of my groups, you may kind of not understand what exactly that means, but it's a private Facebook group. And the best ones are the ones where everybody's doing the same program together. So for example, like right now, 80-Day Obsession is going on. So everybody's doing 80-Day Obsession. They post their workout when they're done. I share my meal plan every week for them. I try to provide tips and I try to ask questions and just get them engaged, make them feel a part of something. And when they feel a part of something, they're more accountable. They check in. They feel more engaged. They feel more confident. I know when I was in my first challenge group, I thought there's no way I'm going to post. And I have so many challengers that say that. They're like, I'm not going to post. I'm just going to be in the group. But they end up posting. I ended up posting because it's just something you want to be a part of. You want to share your workout and that you worked your butt off and you got it done, and you want people to clap for you. Like, you want them to be like, yes, good job. Like, you did great. And so that's what you do, is you provide that support. And I try to check in once or twice a week, see how things are going. But if they're posting in the group, I know how it's going. I know how they're doing. And I know, because I attract people like this that struggle with their nutrition. So I personally try to put more of an emphasis on that to help them, because the working out part usually for most people is what's fun and what's exciting, because it's only 30 minutes to an hour long, but the nutrition piece is usually where we tend to struggle, and that's from our society, that's from our upbringing, that's just from a whole skew of things that struggle with that nutrition side. So it's just being a presence, being helpful, and helping them as you can, and just being that support system for that. So I kind of touched on it a little bit about how you get those challengers, how you attract those challengers, and that's from sharing your story and then reaching out and inviting them. So I hear this all the time, like, I don't want to sell to people. I don't want to sell to people. And I get that, because technically you are selling something. You're selling a product. You're selling yourself. But I never feel like I'm selling. I never feel like when I sit down at my computer to work, I think, what am I going to sell today? I think, who am I going to help today? Who am I going to influence today? Like, who's going to be so inspired by my post today that they decide to reach out and I help them? So if you are sharing your story, if you're being genuine, if you're providing value, you're not selling. You're just sharing your story, your journey, and then reaching out to people to join you. And not everybody's going to, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. But every once in a while, you find those people that want to, they commit, they change their life, they turn into great friends, they turn into coaches, they turn into better people, better moms, they feel better about themselves because you reached out to them. So it's all this cycle. And like I said, I honestly never feel like I'm selling, because I'm just sharing my story. I'm just being me. I'm sharing the struggles of being a mom and trying to work out and while pregnant or while having little ones, like whatever it is, I'm just sharing, and people relate to that. And so then when I, invite them, it's either, yes or no, or now's not the right time, or whatever it might be. And we go over all of that in training. We talk about that and how to overcome that and what are things to say. So wherever you are at right now in your journey, whether you are already fit, whether you are just starting, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I have gone through every stage in my coaching career of being still not at my goal weight, struggling, pregnant, postpartum. Oh my gosh, got in the best shape of my life. Bam, got pregnant. And pregnant again. And I'll go through postpartum, and I'll go through getting back to my goal weight, and then I'll go through that, and then I'll be at that transitional point where it's like, now I got to maintain, right? So wherever you are at, whatever point you're at, and that was actually one of the things that held me back, was I didn't feel like I was in good enough shape to be a coach. And that's not true, because I will admit, you guys, I waited, 2 months to start coaching. And there were so many people in my town that ended up signing up as coaches with other people because they didn't know what I was doing. And when that happened, I thought, oh my gosh, I just missed out on like 5 of my good friends signing up as coaches because I was too scared to say what I was doing. So if that's something that's holding you back, don't, because you never know what's going to happen, who you're going to miss out on, whatever it might be. You just never know. And so I wish I would have started sooner. I mean, everything happens for a reason, but don't let that fear of not being in fantastic shape, not having abs, not being at your goal weight hold you back, because it's so much more than that. And honestly, I feel like when you're going through your own struggles and you're trying to get into shape and fit yourself, you relate more to your challengers. Personally, I feel like I relate more to my challengers now and when I'm postpartum than when I was in the best shape of my life, because I had already gone through the struggles and I was trying to help them through their struggles. Whereas now that I'm going through my own struggles and postpartum too, they understand and they get that feeling, and we're through that together. We're in the trenches together. So last thing I want to talk about is how much time. So here I go telling you everything that's involved with coaching. And I know some of you are sitting there watching and you're saying, that's awesome, but I have no time. I have zero time. And I'm going to call a little BS on you because it's not about having time, you guys. It's about making time. And that goes for your fitness. That goes for your personal development. That goes for working coaching into your life. At the beginning, honestly, an hour a day. 1 hour a day. And it doesn't have to be from 8 to 9 o'clock. It could be 7:15 to 7:30. It could be broken up into 10-minute chunks, 15-minute chunks, 30-minute chunks, whatever it might be. Start off with an hour a day. And for me, I loved it so much that it just became, I don't want to say an addiction, but it became like every spare second I was like, what could I do? What could I do? What could I do? And me being a teacher, me being that type A personality, I am constantly working from a checklist. And it's something that I will share to you. It's something I will teach you. And you'll set a timer, and you are going to be the most productive person, and you won't even know what to do with yourself, okay? So you have the checklist. You have the items to do in front of you. You set that timer, and you go after it, and you get it done. And it just becomes a part of you. And if it's something you're really passionate about, if your why is big enough, you know, wanting to stay home with your kids, wanting to just earn extra money for groceries, wanting to get out of debt, whatever it is, if it's big enough, it will drive you to find that hour a day. It will drive you to stay up a little later than normal, or it will drive you to get up. I get that asked all the time. How do you get up so early? Why do you get up so early? Because that's when my brain is the most creative. That's when it's the most quiet for me. I can get the most crap done in the morning than I can at night. So if it's important to you, if it's something that you want to make happen, you will find the time for it. But like I said, we work from that list. I help you guys. We knock it out. In our coach training, there'll be like daily tasks that just kind of help you go through the motions and get the hang of everything, little videos. And then honestly, you guys, all we worry about that first month is getting 3 people going in the challenge group. Focus on helping 3 people. We're going to start, and I'm going to teach you how to post on social media, start sharing, reaching out, and getting those 3 people, getting that first victory. So having everything, getting everything to that point, I don't just throw you to the wolves. We're going to work together, and we're going to make this happen. Okay? All right. So that is everything I wanted to share with you. That is what being a coach is, how it works. And then just knowing that if you truly want it, if you're truly passionate about it, you will make it happen. You will make the time for it. So that is it, you guys. Questions, make sure that you share them below. Reach out or check your email or your message for when the next training starts. And I will be sure to get you that information and get going there. And I will also leave an application in the comments if you are interested in filling that out and getting more information as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my story. I appreciate it. Have a great night, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.